Thank you, Chair and honorable members. Allow me first to say that we received an invite for us to give a response in respect to Land Reference 2015-46. Honorable Chair, allow me to make a clarity that upon survey of this land, the TERAL number was 31,843. And following that, Honorable Chair, we were able to give a response which was signed and forwarded to the Clerk of the National Assembly on 24th July 2025. Honorable Chair, we have also attached the annexures in relation to the report, which, Honorable Chair, you have it and you have gone through, and I want to believe that my friend Honorable Arama has also gone through the report and he has raised a pertinent issue. And the issue, Chair, is who was the original ROT? Honorable Chair, allow me to say that from some of the documents I was able, we gathered as the ministry, in minute number 11 of what a team called then JPAC, I want to believe this was the allocation team then within the Nakuru municipality. In minute number 12, it is very clear that this site had earlier been planned for Jua Kali artisans. And
so, honorable members, we are referring to annexure number 1. If you go through the report,
yes,
annexure
Annex
number 1. So that is referring to paragraph number 11. 12.
And the Chair, I think that responds to the initial allocation. However, at that very sitting, Chair, there seemed to have been an application by a group calling itself Kibigori Self-Help Group, which had also requested for allocation of the same parcel. And if you check, the then JPAC met that recommendation that actually, if you look at what this group was doing, was beekeeping, poultry farming, herbalists, and at Jua Kali at the site, since it is slightly off the town.
Point.
Chief Registrar, you have said the first time, I think when were they allocated, when was this done, the first time when the allotment was done? Can you tell us when it was done the first time, when these other people for the second time when they were given? The first time, when was it, and the second allotment?
Honorable Chair, at this time we are talking about unsurveyed land, and I was not able to get the only allotment in our possession is the allotment issued on 27th July 2000. That is the rate of allotment, which is Kibigol Self-Help Group. But if you see in terms of the allocation in the allotment, that is Honorable Chair, Annex 3. It is an surveyed Jua Kali site, C and D Nakuru municipality. And the Chair, allow me to reiterate this. Even at that time of that allocation, it is being allocated as a Jua Kali site, not for any other purpose. Honorable Chair, in that JPAC meeting, allow me to be able to refer you again to at that Annex 1. There was an insinuation that the Jua Kali had rejected that site as being away from the town. And that's where you see it says, and the Jua Kali had rejected the site since it is slightly off the town. This self-help group allocated the site. It is that JPAC that then did this proposal, actually allocating to Kibigol self-help group, but ideally in spirit this was a Jua Kali, and even at the point of allocation it was intended that it would only be Jua Kali site. Honorable Chair, in terms of our documentation again, I want to refer you, Chair, to Annex 2. Here there was communications that were done by then fiscal in 1997. There was a communication to the then Commission of Lands where this property or land was being proposed for right industry, and at this moment here you could realize still the word in that letter, if I may reiterate, in paragraph 2 says the above mentioned party development plan supersedes any other plan that may have been prepared for effecting the same site. Chair, I want to be able to say there was an initial plan prior to 1979 when this land was being allocated as a Jua Kali. But when you look at this letter communication to the then Commission of Lands, it was to the effect then there was a second plan again with the of now allocating this land. Please note that Kibigol self-help group would be considered as Jua Kali enterprise due to the nature of their activities. The group has already received financial assistance from donors, and it is therefore imperative that the application be considered favorably together with the application of a Jua Kali Artisans Nakuru branch. Chair, our lead when we looked at this, it seems as time were passing, things were changing slowly. At this point, the communication to the Commission of Lands was to the effect that as this self-help group was being considered, it was to be considered together with Jua Kali. If you look at that line, that the application by Jua Kali, so there was an application then by the
Honorable the Chief Land Registrar, just for the sake of these other members, because what you are saying here is very important and very crucial, and it actually forms the backbone of this visit. Maybe you could just twist a bit so that you are in Kiswahili and English where you are not able to.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Nafuatilia hiyo story vizuri, hata kama mimi si mwenye huku, lakini nilikuwa nataka niulize kama kuna mtu alikuwa hiyo wakati tunasema 1995, kuna mtu alikuwa hapa? Okay, sawa.
Asante mwenyekiti, kama ninaweza rudia kwa maneno mawili, nimeulizwa pia nichanganye Kisungu na lugha yetu ya kitaifa ya Kiswahili. Ni kwa wakati wa kupeana ili shamba, kwanza ilikuwa ipewe kwa watu wa Jua Kali, na hiyo ilikuwa kabla ya mwaka 1997. wakati hii self help group inaitwa Kibigori ilikuja ndani, ile communication ilikuwa imetoka kwa planner wa province, then tulikuwa tunamuita provincial planner Nakuru. Ilikuwa inaonesha kuwa ili shamba lilikuwa lipeanwe kwa hii self Kibingoli na pia wana Jua Kali. So ukiangalia ile spirit ya hii barua vile ilipo nakiliwa, haikuwa ipewe kwa group moja, lakini shamba lenyewe pia lilikuwa na madhumuni ya kuwa likuwe ni shamba la Jua Kali. Chairman, if you can allow me take you to Annex if you can allow me take you to Annex 4. Look at Annex. Let's look at Annex 5, Chair. Annex 5. Chair, ukiangalia Annex 5, yes. This Annex 5 is a communication by the National Land Commission to the coordinator, the NLC Land Coordinator Nakuru, and at this time in 2016, the land is still said to have been as unsurveyed Jua Kali site, and it is again referring to the same land C and D Nakuru municipality. At this time, Chair, when the request was made by Kibingori, that letter was to the response that there was a request to know the ownership status on the ground and even the surrounding parcels. Kwa wakati barua iliandikwa kwa niaba ya Chairman National Land Commission, ilikuwa imeandikiwa mwakilishi wa National Land Commission katika county kupeana report. Hii barua imeandikwa 2016. Chair, ukiangalia hii report kuna response inafuata kwa hiyo annexa ambayo ni barua imeandikwa tarehe 20 Disemba mwaka wa 2016. Na ukiangalia hii barua Chair, na saa vile tumetembea pale, mimi nafikiri Chair, hapa ndio tunaona mambo yakienda murama, sababu ile maneno imeandikwa kwa hii response ya kwanza ni kusema hii shamba ilikuwa imewekwa perimeter wall round. Hiyo ndio report ya kwanza coordinator alipeana, eti shamba yote iko na wall. Ya pili ilikuwa imepakana na shule, vile tumeona pande ile ingine kuna barabara na hiyo dump site. But ukienda hapo chini Chair, unaona hiyo recommendation iko na maneno hapo chini nasema, this office recommends strongly your intelligence to have their Kibingoli self-help group to have their land ownership document. Please process according to the relevant legal procedures. Chair, what might have necessitated this communication, I want to refer you to Annex 6. This was Annex 6 is where the Director of Survey, who is under the State Department, had wanted the National Land Commission to make a clarification on the basis on the allotment that they had done a request for the land to be surveyed. Now, Honorable Chair, allow me to read this part, then I will put a little bit of Kiswahili into it. I'm in respect of a new grant survey document in respect of the above plot. The survey is in support of preparation of land registration maps. This is to ask the Chairman National Land Commission, the Director of Fiscal Planning, to confirm in writing the authenticity of the attached letters of allotment, and he has given the reference, and the part development plan, respectively, to facilitate the processing of the documents. Your expeditious response will ensure speedy service delivery to the customers. You can realize, Chair, these communications were again in respect of the same land, that is Jua Kali side C and D. Here the response to that is on a letter dated, I'm sorry, Chair, we never placed it as an annex. There is a letter dated 29th June 2017. The response from the National Land Commission to the Director of Survey, to the effect that it was confirming the authenticity of the letters of allotment, and actually asked the Director of Survey to proceed and prepare the necessary documents for purposes of registration. Ningependa kusema kuwa kulikuwa na mawasiliano kati ya ministry na National Land Commission, na kwa ufupi commission ili authorize na ikakubalia kwa Director of Survey kutoa stakabadhi zenye zingesaidia kupeana title document. Na Chair, that takes me back to Annex Annex 3. That is the rate of allotment here. In the Annex 3, the rate of allotment is dated 27th July 2000, and it is to Kibigori Self-Help Group. The purpose of the parcel is Jua Kali site. The issue Honorable Arama asked then is quoted as 3.2, which is close to 9.9 acres. And actually, this is in terms of these letters of allotment. It is on after this, Chair. I also want to say there is the rate of acceptance I want to refer to, because as a ministry we want also to be able to highlight a few things that there is a rate of acceptance, that is Annex 4, and that acceptance, Chair, is dated 6th January 2017. Chair, while we are aware that when one has been allocated land and no one has come forth to request, usually in terms of allotment, and I think this is important for both of us, for members of public and everybody. Letters of allotment have timelines, and wakati mwingi hizi tunaita allotment siko na wakati. Kama hujakubalia na ile masharti umepewa kwa ile muda, ni kusema hujachukua na hilo shamba linaweza pewa mtu mwingine. Lakini ukiangalia hili shamba tunaongea je, it is to the effect that this is supposed to be public, not private. And I think when you look at the user which is placed there, it was to the intent that this land be public land. That's why it is repeating in our document that is Jua Kali side. And until that there is formal, most of these titles you could come across, Chair, you realize most of them then were prepared and issued through Cabinet Secretary to the Treasury. This acceptance and the effective of the payment is what facilitated the preparation and issuance of the title, which we have the list that was prepared. Allow me, Chair, to take you to Annex 8, 7, Annex 7, Chair. Annex 7, where we have the culmination of preparation of the list documents. And from this list document, Chair, this is the first time you see names of people introduced. I think it's important for us that we are also able to set light and help your committee in making a decision that is just. And the persons you can see in that list were Robinson Radio and Elijah Retangule. I may not be able to respond to Honorable Arama as to where these people comes from. I have no documents where I can say these people don't come from Nakuru. But again, these were just as trustees of Kibigoli Hapo Self-Help Group. And Chair, on that document, you can see their photographs, ID numbers and the PIN of who the trustees are. And Chair, I want to take you to condition number 3 on that list document. And I think it's important for all of us to understand. Then this, in the condition number 3, it says land and building shall always be used for right industries. Chair, from where we sit, right industries also includes Jua Kali. We might be taken afar to think it is different. Ni kusema hili shamba lilipopeanwa na serikali pato kwa ile condition ya kipengele ya 3 iliweka pato hili shamba haikulitoa likuwekwe litumike kwa kulima, liwekwe mtu aweke pale aweke manyumba ya kuishi, haikuwekwa mtu aweke commercial, ilikuwa ya kutumika kwa mambo inahusu na Jua Kali. Na ninafikiri kutoka hapa Chair, itakuwa busara kwetu wote, hata kwa county government, if there are any approvals si ambazo zinapeanwa kufanywa, lazima hizo approvals siendane na kutumia hili shamba kwa minajili ya mambo ya right industries. And Chair, following this, then on Annex 8 is the certificate of title that was issued on 20th October 2018, and there is the deed plan that was prepared, that is on page 3, Chair, which gives you the parcel number, the acreage, the layout of the land vile tumetembea pale, and also gives you the deed plan number of that parcel. Chair, allow me to say, from what Honorable Arama raised and from the documents we have in our record, they refer to one and the same land. Asiongei kuhusu shamba mbili tofauti. Ile mambo ameweka, zile stakabati tuko nazo, ile issue ya kuangalia is whether hii kikao ya JPEG iliweka Kibingoli, unani walikuwa kwa hiyo kikao, ilikuwaje wakaweka, na watu wa Jua Kali na walikuwa wapi. Hili ndio nafikiri kitu ya kuangalia pati juu ya yote. Chair, nataka kusema ya kuwa hili shamba lilikuwa limetengwa kwa minajili ya watu wa Jua Kali. Thank you, Chair.